Welcome everybody to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today. And this week sees the release of the action spin-off Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw hitting store shelves, along with the PG-13 horror tales, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, the crime drama The Kitchen, as well as the Amazon original series Good Omens is hitting store shelves, and the Jean-Claude Van Damme classic Universal Soldier is getting the 4K upgrade, plus much more. So let's go into the deals, exclusives, and we're at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. Alright everybody, we are in at Walmart with this huge display for Hobbs and Shaw. Look at this thing. Damn, this is massive. Wow, that is really cool, man. Very awesome. Wow. The first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital of Hobbs and Shaw for $29.96. They have this Blu-ray DVD and digital limited edition exclusive gift set that includes a Hobbs custom t-shirt. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, it's basically his family's custom sort of detailing shop and sort of their shirt there. Oh, that's not bad. Only at Walmart, and that's also for $29.96 as well, guys. Then over here, I'm seeing they have the DVD digital of Hobbs and Shaw for $19.96, and they also have the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $24.96. Now, Bob and I did a movie review on Hobbs and Shaw. You can catch it on the movie review playlist. I'll also put a link down below in the description if you guys want to check out our full and complete thoughts on the movie. And we really enjoyed this one. We honestly really did, guys. We were very much surprised by this movie. And I think we were really surprised by it because, I'm not gonna lie, the Fast and the Furious franchise is getting a little long in the tooth. You know what I mean, man? I still enjoy the movies. I still love going to see them, but it's getting a little tiresome. And I was thinking to myself, a spin-off, how is this gonna be? But, I remember seeing Fast and the Furious 8 and loving the chemistry between The Rock and Jason Statham and thinking, my God, man, that chemistry is electric. It's part of what made Fast 8 as good as it was. And when they were announcing a spin-off, I was like, okay, I guess it makes somewhat sense. I still wasn't sure how it was going to be spinning this off away from Vin Diesel and the rest of the crew, but honestly, it really works. The chemistry between The Rock and Statham here is just as solid as it was in Fast 8. I love the comedy. I love the action set pieces. I think, like, it's just, this movie is just dripping machismo all over the place, man. Just real male hormone machismo, dude. And rightfully so, man. It's got a really great sort of action pulpy sensibility to it. It seems like Jason Statham and The Rock are having a hell of a fun time bouncing off one another. It's just really, really great, dude. I had a really fun time. A really great villain as well here also. There are moments in this movie, just like in Fast and Furious movies previously, where you're kind of like, oh, come on, man, seriously? They can't do that. Like, there's, like, this moment here where, like, the helicopter and him, like, pulling down the helicopter and everything, and you're just like, oh, give me a break, man. But it's fun. It just is a really fun time, and you just put your fist in the air and just have a hell of a fun time with these dudes kicking ass, and I really enjoyed this one, guys. I was kind of surprised by it, but it's way better than I think I could have ever thought it was going to be, man. Honestly, I was really pleasantly surprised by this one. Is it the best sort of Fast and Furious movie? I don't know if it is, but it's definitely fun as hell, and it's definitely worth your time to check out, guys, for sure. So definitely do it, man. By far, I definitely think it's worth your time, man. And like I said, good variety here. They got the Blu-ray, got the DVD. They got that exclusive here, the Hobbs and Shaw custom one, which is interesting there. Huh. Then there, and they have that 4K as well. And what a really great display, man. Holy cow, man. Massive display, guys. Wow. All right, well, let's see what else Walmart's got. All right, everybody, we are over in this section, and the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray digital of The Kitchen for $19.96, the DVD for $17.96. Now, Nick and I did a movie review on The Kitchen. You can catch it on the movie review playlist. I'll also put a link down below in the description if you want to hear our full and complete thoughts on the movie. And this was one that wasn't exactly on my radar, but it was on Nick's radar, and he definitely wanted to check it out. Basically, it's just about these women in the late 70s who sort of fight their way up the mob food chain and become sort of formidable, foes to some of the bigger mob bosses, and they sort of become their own bosses and sort of lead this mob down in Hell's Kitchen. And it's actually a really good movie, man. It honestly really is. I think a lot of people didn't give this movie a chance for whatever reason. Maybe the trailers didn't look good, or they thought it just looked kind of unimpressive. However it was, the movie actually ended up turning out really, really well, man. Honestly, it really did. Way better than it had any right to. I know that it's based off of a DC Vertigo comic book, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it actually is. And, I've never read any of the comic book stuff, but I thought this was actually really good, man. I really did. I thought Melissa McCarthy did a great job. Tiffany Haddish, Elizabeth Moss. I thought everybody was spot on, man. I really honestly did. It has its gritty moments. There's a little bit of funny moments in there for levity's sake. It's not the most brutal mob movie you've ever seen in your life, but I actually really enjoyed this one quite a bit, guys. I really did. I thought it was a pleasant surprise. I didn't really know what I was walking myself into, especially not having read the comic book material, but I was pleasantly surprised, man. I thought it was a really good movie and a decent mob movie, put it that way. I think it's something you guys should definitely give a chance, especially if you like mob movies or if you like any of these other sort of actresses. I think they do a great job, man. Definitely give it a chance, man. I think you'd be surprised. I definitely enjoyed it, man. Then over here I'm seeing they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark for $24.96, the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $19.96, and the DVD for $14.96. And John and I did a spoiler review on Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. You can catch it on the movie review playlist. I'll also put a link down below for this review as well if you want to hear our full and complete thoughts on the movie. And also, we did this really cool and very, very interesting skit at the beginning of the review, which I'm really proud of. So definitely give that review a look, guys. To be honest with you, I think John and I were really hesitant about going into this one because we liked the trailers. It looked interesting. But at the same time, it's PG-13, and, we sort of have a little bit of a hesitation. Not that PG-13 is bad, but that there's, can they really make it as scary as they really want to with being PG-13? We were kind of worried, and to be honest with you, I've heard of the actual book series, and the book series is actually a sort of series of stories, creepy stories about these sort of creepy monsters and everything. I had sort of heard about it, but hadn't really read much of it when I was a kid or anything, so that was completely new to me. So this was a completely new sort of story being told that I hadn't really heard anything about, and I was really surprised about this one quite a bit, guys. I thought this was great. The characters are really well-rounded. They're likable, which is a plus. You don't want to see them get killed. There's a lot of horror movies out there where you want to see people get killed. These are not those people. You actually grow to like them. I love the monsters here. They're scary and they're creepy, and I thought they were really well designed. I love sort of the old creepy house that reminds me of something from like the old black and white horror movies from back in the day. Sort of that old Victorian house. like I said, I really like the stories. I like the atmosphere. I think it's such a well done movie. I honestly really do. It has some really great atmosphere, some really great creepy scares to it. It's not going for the blood and gore because it's PG-13, but I don't think it really has to, guys. I think it really was a genuine surprise for John and I, and we really fell in love with this movie. And it just goes to show you that really, you don't need an R rating to, make a very good, effective, scary horror film. You just need great filmmakers behind it that's going to really treat the material with respect and know how to shoot a PG-13 film in order to make it effective. And they definitely did, guys. I really enjoyed this one quite a bit. This is definitely one worth checking out. I wish I could say it's an October recommendation, but we're no longer in October. But definitely still one to check out for all you horror movie lovers out there. Then over here, I am seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of The Art of Racing in the Rain for $19.96, the DVD for $17.96, and I have to admit, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I wasn't really sure about this movie because I remember watching the trailers before it came out in the theaters, and I wasn't really feeling it. I was just kind of like, it looks okay, but it doesn't look great. I don't know. I was just on the fence, and I decided I wasn't going to see it in the theater. But honestly, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. I really loved this fucking movie, man. This is a great film, man. It's basically about this puppy that's sort of picked up by this owner, this guy who's sort of races for a living, and it's just sort of the journey that the dog and the owner sort of go on throughout the journey of the dog's life and the guy's life through marriage and having a kid and his ups and downs. And my God, man, I enjoyed this so much. This is such a wonderful movie, man. So full of heart and just great drama and just a really great tale of an owner and his dog and the love that they share together. I think that's the best way to describe it, man. I love the voiceover stuff by Kevin Costner. I think he does a really great job as voicing the dog and the thoughts of the dog. I think Milo Ventimiglia does a great job here as well. Amanda Seyfried does as well. It's just very joyous. It's heartfelt, and I'm not gonna lie, guys. It really pulls at your heartstrings. There are moments when I'm watching this movie that I'm not gonna lie, I teared up a little bit, dude. I teared up, man. I'm not gonna lie, I really did, dude. This got to me in a big bad way, especially the ending where I'm like, I'm not crying. I swear I'm not crying. It really got to me, man. But it was so well worth it, dude. And I'm so pissed now that I missed it in the theater. But I'm so glad I got a chance to watch this. I'm a huge dog lover, so this pulled at me regardless. But dude, if you guys are dog lovers, this is one worth checking out. It really honestly is. I was so pleasantly surprised by this film. I went in thinking this was going to be complete dog shit, and it ended up being anything but, dude. It's a really effective story. The love the dog has for an owner, the owner that has the love for the dog, and just sort of the life that they share and the best friends that they make and the friendship that they have. It's so heartwarming. Honestly, it's a huge recommendation to me. Huge. I think you guys are going to love it. Well, if you're a dog lover, I think you will. But definitely check it out, man. I think a lot of people missed out on it in the theater, but hopefully they'll check it out now that it's on the physical media though. Then over here I'm seeing they have the DVD of Yellowstone Season 2 for $19.96. Now, see, when Season 1 came out of Yellowstone, I really had no idea that show ever even existed, to be honest with you. I really didn't know at all. I was like, Yellowstone, this was completely new to me. And now that Season 2 is out, so some of you told me that Yellowstone was actually really good, if I remember. A really good sort of dramatic sort of ranch western tale, sort of with family drama. I think it says in here, The Godfather on a Ranch. That is quite the interesting quote. Interesting. I love The Godfather and western and sort of Godfather on a Ranch? Maybe? Honestly, I haven't got a chance to check out any episodes or anything like that, guys. But this is one of those shows that I think is not the most heavily promoted show. I don't see this getting a lot of promotion from a lot of places. You see stuff on all these other channels and all these other places that get a lot of promotion. I've never seen Yellowstone get the kind of promotion that I think maybe the show might deserve, actually. I love Kevin Costner. He's a really great dramatic actor. I love him doing more work, even though it's in TV. It looks and sounds really cool. Season 1 did, and I'm assuming Season 2 is just as good as Season 1. Definitely let me know what you guys think. It's an interesting mashup of like a crime sort of drama, probably mixed with like a Western ranch sort of drama epic. It's sort of a weird mashup, but hey, if it works and it's good, then why not, right? I mean, definitely let me know what you think of Yellowstone Season 2. Badass Kevin Costner. Gotta love it, baby. Alright, that does it for this section, guys. Actually, some really good stuff this week so far. Let's see what else they got. Alright, everybody, we're over in this section with a few like interesting indie titles that I found over here at Walmart. The first I'm seeing over here is they have the DVD of The Brave for $9.96 with Luis Mandalore and Armand Assante. It's actually been a while since I've seen Armand Assante in anything. Only elite forces can fight this war on crime. Looks like they're definitely in a war. Look at that cover. An elite group of cops set out to end the war raged against the local police in Albanian town over drug production and this action thriller based on true life. I've never actually heard about the true life events of any of this stuff, so that sounds interesting. And I gotta admit, I do like Armand Assante, so that might be something worth checking out. But there's so many of these straight to DVD movies that come out, these action thrillers that try to sell them as sort of these big theatrical movies hitting DVD, but they're anything but. They're just really lame. So I don't know if it's like really good or it's like one of those ones like 10 Minutes Gone where it's kind of cheapo but with decent actors in it. I don't know. I'm not really feeling the cover too much, so I don't know if I would give it a chance. But if you guys know anything about The Brave or the true life story, definitely let me know. Then I'm seeing Undercover Brother 2, the DVD for $14.96. They actually made an Undercover Brother 2. Really? Okay. Very sweet fro right there. Sweet fro indeed. And look at the threads. Very nice. Can't believe they made an Undercover Brother 2. Undercover Brother's younger brother. I watched Undercover Brother years ago, and I kind of liked it. I thought it was fine. It wasn't anything great. It was just decent at best. I didn't find it all that funny, but I don't even think some of the same people are in this. Maybe a few, but not a lot of them. It's one of those sort of sequels that sort of just cash grabs on the name, and it's just sort of a cheapo-made sequel where it's like, hey, put it on a shelf at Walmart. It's bound to sell. It's Undercover Brother 2. I don't know, guys. This is one that I'm going to skip. I've seen a lot of these sort of movies that are sort of aping on the name alone, and that's it. I mean, it kind of looks interesting. I like Michael Jai White. He's really cool. And outside of that, I mean, it looks like your typical sort of like, comedy, but it's nothing I would be interested in, guys. I'm just surprised they actually made an Undercover Brother 2, for God's sakes. Was there a demand for Undercover Brother 2? I don't think there ever was. Definitely let me know if it's worth it. Kind of doubt it, though. Then over here I'm seeing they have My Adventures with Santa for $14.96 with Barbara Eden, Denise Richards, and Patrick Muldoon. Wasn't Patrick Muldoon in Starship Troopers? I think he was, man. God, what happened to Patrick Muldoon, man? Damn. Hadn't seen him in a long ass time. And look at Denise Richards. Man, whatever happened to Denise Richards, man? She went downhill fast, dude. God, she used to have so much promise. She was in like Bond and the Starship Trooper stuff and Wild Things, and damn, look at her now. She's having an adventure with Santa. Yay! Okay. That's my shopping trip with Dad. Discover a dazzling snow globe with magical powers. Ah, jeez, yeah. You guys know me. I'm not big into many Christmas movies, so this is definitely a pass. But interesting. Patrick Muldoon, Denise Richards, kind of like a Starship Troopers reunion, only with Santa. Then they've got Baby in a Manger, based on a Harlequin novel. Oh, and that wonderful Dove-approved logo. I was missing that one, guys. I was missing it for a little bit. Glad we got another one of these. Let Faith Lead the Way. Christmas is about a miracle baby, but when CPS found a lost baby lying in a nativity scene, for them to work together. See, it's a miracle. Get it? Faith. Miracle. Yeah. Oh, jeez. The baby sort of helps, these two people sort of maybe fall in love or something. This is a weird one, dude. Boy, they're coming out with all kinds of Christmas stuff as of late. Jesus, man. Then over here I'm seeing they have the DVD of Christmas Everlasting, another Hallmark, part of the Hallmark Hall of Fame collection for $9.96. With Tatiana Ali. God, where do I remember Tatiana Ali from? Wasn't she in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? I think she was, actually. Her, you got Dennis Haysbert, Patti LaBelle is in this thing as well. I never heard of this one. Then again, a lot of these sort of Hallmark ones or these Harlequin stuff or anything, I don't really bother with any of this stuff, dude. Dude, I'm Jewish. I mean, come on, man. But maybe it would be cool if you're a fan of Patti LaBelle. Maybe. Yeah, these ones have no interest to me whatsoever. And speaking of no interest, Christmas with a Prince, Becoming Royal, based on another Harlequin novel. The fairy tale continues as seen on Up TV. I've never even heard of Up TV. Okay. A Christmas again. When Princess finds out she is not happy. I don't know, dude. That's what I think of these things, dude. I like a good romance movie, sometimes a good Christmas movie. Combine them together, maybe it's good, but this just doesn't look like anything up my alley. Just looks like soap opera stuff, which I can easily pass on. Then over here I'm seeing they have Prey, the DVD for $9.96. Oh, look at that. That's actually a cool cover. I like that. Don't close your eyes. I probably would close my eyes. I wouldn't want that fucker behind me. Holy shit. Death Comes from the Shadows. Horror thriller from Image. Logan Miller's in it. I like him. Oh, yes, because nothing will go wrong when you go on a remote jungle island, right? Yeah, jeez. It kind of looks cool. Kind of looks like a monster stalking people and killing them. And interesting. I've never actually heard of Prey. The monster does look kind of cool, just on the cover alone. Very interesting sort of killer monster movie. Not bad. Kind of looks actually cool. Definitely let me know what you guys think of Prey. I do like the cover, actually. The cover would be something I would just, if you're blind buying, just seeing this. It looks kind of interesting. Then over here they have School of the Damned for $9.96. They have everything under control. Right. We don't like bullies. I have a feeling these kids really don't have to worry about being bullied. Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that one. Young and very deadly. Saying this says, when a new teacher, Mr. Middleton, Soon, really special class. Georgie. You sure that this is not a prequel to It? Okay. Unravel the Dirt. Interesting. Sort of young children, evil children, kind of like reminds me of like Children of the Damned or something. I mean, it's pretty much aping off. It's called School of the Damned, but it could be a very interesting, creepy killer kids type of movie. I don't love all sort of creepy killer kids movies, but there's a few that I really do enjoy, actually. Children of the Damned is definitely one of them. Looks interesting. If you guys know anything about that, definitely let me know. Then they've also got, Ambition for $9.96. It Can Kill You. From the producer of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Interesting. From Robert Shea, Nightmare on Elm Street. Well, her ambition, performance of her life, but in her competitive world, ambition. Literally killing her, but... sort of people sort of dying around her, and it's intense, and, you know, she's trying to figure out what's going on, and it's inspired by thrillers such as Carrie, Black Swan. You know, not gonna lie, look at Lin Shaye. Jeez. I think I saw a review of this on IMDb once, and actually, to be honest with you, I think somebody gave it 1 star. I swear to God. Not that really stops me or anything, because there's a lot of movies that I love that a lot of people don't, but, I know this movie is actually directed by Bob Shaye, and he was actually the head of New Line Cinema at one point, and he's the one that sort of helped make Nightmare on Elm Street a reality. He's in the director's seat. I'm kind of curious about this one. What this might be good, bad, sort of shitty horror film. Interesting. Definitely let me know what you think of Ambition. Then over here I'm seeing they have Escape from Stalin's Death Camp for $9.96. Based on the harrowing true story. 1947, commander of the UPA. And the strength to resist repression from the prison camp commander. Interesting. You know what? This is that time of like Stalin and Hitler and death camps and everything like that. Very sort of dark times for the world. I do like these movies, and I'm glad these type of movies exist to sort of get these stories out there to people. I don't know if I watch all of them, but it's interesting. I haven't seen much, actually, of these type of stories about Stalin. I see more stuff about Hitler, but not really Stalin, though. That's very interesting. I like sort of the true story aspect to it. And just sort of the history of, like, Stalin and death camps and everything. That's interesting. I don't know if it's done really well in like a straight-to-DVD movie, but I definitely would be interested in it. If you guys know anything about Escape from Stalin's Death Camp, let me know. And then the other thing I'm seeing over here is they have The Other Side of Heaven 2, Fire of Faith. The true story continues. I don't remember if we ever actually saw the other side of heaven. Maybe we did. Some of these faith ones are really forgettable, not gonna lie. Missionary John H. Groberg returns to Tonga in the 1960s with his wife and Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of these faith movies, man. I'm really not. I mean, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I just don't really like them. You know, me being Jewish kind of gets me turned off by some of these faith films. Some are really good, but I think the ones that I like are the ones where it's like, it doesn't take itself too seriously, and they more like have fun with it, but yet have a message at the end. It's something like that. There's a few that I've liked that have been serious, but there's a lot of ones that really just push it right down your throat, and I don't know, man. If you guys really care for these, definitely let me know, though. A very interesting crop and variety of indie titles this time around over at Walmart. And some interesting stuff so far to check out. Let's see if they got anything else. Alright guys, we're over in this little TV area, and the only other thing I'm seeing that came out new this week is they have the Castlevania Season 2 Blu-ray for $22.96 and the DVD over here for $17.96. Now, I believe this show is on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. I believe they're airing this stuff on Netflix. I honestly have not gotten a chance to actually watch any of these episodes, season 1 or season 2. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff to watch already, guys, so I'm pretty swamped as it is. But I remember, I think when the first season came out, a lot of you told me that it was actually really good, and that, they actually took the Castlevania sort of vibe and actually made a really great sort of animated show out of it. I'm very curious to see if like you guys agree that season 2 is just as good as season 1, or did it drop off in quality? You know, it did interest me because when you guys told me about it, after I was looking at season 1, I was sort of looking at it more and I'm like, this actually does look really interesting. And I do have to get into it at some point. Again, I've just been so swamped, but I do have Netflix, so it's definitely something I want to get into. But I'm always interested in your guys' opinions to let me know what you think of this. I gotta admit, the cover art is really cool, man. I like the cover art a lot. Very, very cool. I don't watch as many sort of animated shows as I used to when I was a kid. Because back when I was a kid, I used to watch a crap ton of them. But honestly, there is certain ones that would pique my interest. And like I said, I did look into it, and it did look kind of interesting to me. So I would definitely give Castlevania a chance out. I mean, definitely let me know what you guys think. Is it still worth it to dip into, or did season 2 dip down in quality? Definitely let me know, guys. Other than that, that does it for Walmart. All right, let's head out. I think we can all agree that this is much better variety and selection than last week, by far, guys. There's a lot more to see here, a lot more to show off. Some really big releases this week, some cool little indie titles, some TV shows coming out, so a really cool, huge display for Hobbs & Shaw, some exclusives. Definitely a big bounce back week for sure, especially here at Walmart, guys. A lot to show off, man. Some really nice stuff this week for sure. Definitely get up on some of this stuff this week, especially if you like some of the exclusives and some of the indie stuff that Walmart has. Definitely get up on that, guys. But not bad here this week. Very cool indeed. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's head to the second location and see what we can find. All right, everybody. We are at our second location, Target. Now, this week, Walmart really was back in a big bad way, man. I mean, we saw the big name releases, we saw the indie titles, we saw exclusives, that huge display for Hobbs & Shaw. There was a lot to show off there, man. And now with a bigger release week and more stuff to check out, I think that means a better week for Target. Now, that's not always the case, but, as I said before, slower release weeks, Target tends to suffer a little bit because of it. A bigger release week with a lot more variety to check out should that Target will actually have a lot more to show off. Now, I'm very curious whether we'll see any exclusives here, because I was not expecting to see any exclusives over at Walmart, so that whole Hobbs & Shaw thing did kind of shocked me. Like, wow, we actually saw one. We haven't seen exclusives from Target at certain movies where I thought we would see it. Target's been really good with exclusives, and maybe we'll see some this time around. Hopefully really good variety. There's a lot of hoping. Hopefully we get some good stuff this week. Let's head in, find out. All right, everybody, we are in at Target over here, and the first thing I'm seeing is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital of Hobbs & Shaw for $29.99, the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $26.99, the DVD digital for $22.99, and they also have this only at Target exclusive Blu-ray DVD and digital, comes with a limited edition interactive gallery book. It's kind of what it looks like there. Interesting. I know Target does a lot of these sort of gallery style books, so it's not really surprising, but it's kind of actually nice to see an exclusive here for Hobbs & Shaw. So we now saw one at Walmart and now Target as well. So not half bad. At least one exclusive at each place. Not too bad at all. Interesting. They got that one for $27.99. And when I was watching this movie, guys, the one film that kept on coming to mind, as I was watching this thing, is Tango and Cash. Like, Tango and Cash was the one I was thinking of, like, my God, this movie reminds me so much of that. I mean, the whole, like, like that whole thing, man. I mean, Stallone and Russell, they had really great chemistry, really great sort of back and forth. They were sort of enemies, and then they became friends, and it kind of reminded me, like, this movie reminded me of that so much. I mean, speaking of that movie, man, that really does deserve like a collector's edition release or something. Man, that so deserves one. But this movie reminded me so much of Tango and Cash. It really honestly did. And the movie is directed by David Leitch. Now, David Leitch is actually he's becoming a really great director. He co-directed the first John Wick movie. He directed Atomic Blonde. He directed Deadpool 2 and now this one. And he's a really great action director. He sort of takes whatever the style of the movie is and makes some really interesting sort of action style scenes based on the type of movie that he's making. Like, there's certain action in Hobbs and Shaw that would not fit in a Deadpool 2, and there's certain things in Deadpool 2 that would not fit in Hobbs and Shaw, Atomic Blonde, and vice versa. He seems to take the vibe of what the movie is and spins really great sort of action sequences from it. I thought the action here was great, sick. There was certain times where it was like, oh, I can't believe they would do this, but that's part of the Fast and Furious franchise anyways, that sort of, I can't believe they're pulling this off, and there's no way they could in hell, but I guess that's sort of become the charm of the Fast and Furious franchise. But I thought he did a great job, man, and honestly, I cannot wait to see what he does next, because I've really loved a lot of his style that he's done, and he tends to really not do the same thing twice, which is really interesting. So I would definitely interested to see where he goes next as a filmmaker. I really honestly would. I thought this was great just for the action alone. And then you add on top of that the chemistry between The Rock and Statham. I thought it was great, dude. I honestly did, man. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. And the next thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray of Ophelia for $14.99. Huh. With Daisy Ridley, Naomi Watts, and Clive Owen. Vengeance is hers. That's interesting. Huh. I wonder when this came out. I don't actually remember this coming to theaters or anything. I don't know if this was a limited engagement movie or something. It's got a great cast to it. Huh. Here's colorful and clever. One of the world's greatest dramas turned on its head through a bold new perspective of Ophelia. I'm usually not into these type of movies, but I got to admit, though, that the cast alone is really interesting, and I really do like Daisy Ridley quite a bit. She's becoming a really good actress. She hasn't done a lot of work yet, but the stuff that she has done, I've really liked her in. Clive Owen, I haven't seen Clive Owen in a lot of stuff lately, so I'm glad he's doing work. And Naomi Watts, man, she's good too. Huh. Ophelia. Sort of an old school movie with sort of a new school sensibility. Interesting. If you guys like Ophelia or movies like it, maybe this is right down your alley. Sort of getting this Blu-ray out here, but before The Rise of Skywalker comes out, sort of, piquing the interest to see if it sells. If a big movie is coming out, then they got to put this out in order to, pique interest and maybe get people to buy it just on the actor's name alone. It happens quite a bit, guys, honestly. Then over here I'm seeing they have the DVD of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark for $14.99, the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $19.99, and the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital for $24.99. And it's interesting talking about PG-13 horror, because you have no idea how many times I've had to battle with people about, oh, well, PG-13 horror is terrible, and the only good stuff is R-rated horror. And I tend to disagree with that. I mean, I really liked Happy Death Day. I thought that was a great. I thought Wish Upon was a really great PG-13 film. But if you look back, some of perhaps your favorite horror films have been PG-13, whether we're talking about The Monster Squad or Critters or the remake to The Ring. There's been a lot of really great PG-13 horror over the years. So that whole thing about PG-13 horror is not as superior as R-rated horror. I don't believe that whatsoever, man. I truly think, and look, there's a lot of PG-13 horror that's really garbage, dude. There's some really bad PG-13 horror films out there. So, I mean, when you guys say that there's bad PG-13 horror, I'm not disagreeing with you guys, but I think there's far better PG-13 horror than there is bad. Again, I just think it takes the right filmmaker. I think it takes the right sensibilities to make a good PG-13 horror film. I really honestly do, and I think this is one of those ones that really does do it. It feels creepy, it feels atmospheric. A lot of times it's it's the moments that you don't see and it's your imagination running wild. I think that's where PG-13 really ends up being very creative. You don't always need the blood and gore, and trust me, I love blood and gore, but this, you don't really need it, man. So for me, you know, I'm just as cool with a good PG-13 horror film as I am with an R-rated one. I mean, that's just my opinion, guys. I mean, definitely let me know what you think, where your stance is on PG-13 horror. I think, again, it's movies like Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark that really makes PG-13 worth it. Whereas with other PG-13 horror films in the past, and there's been some bad ones, it really gives it a bad rap. But this one is one of the worthy ones, trust me, guys. Then over here I'm seeing they have the DVD digital for The Kitchen for $17.99, the Blu-ray digital for $22.99. And I have to admit, man, that this is really great showcase for these actresses. Melissa McCarthy and Tiffany Haddish especially, because honestly, I'm not big on the Melissa McCarthy comedy stuff. I mean, I think she just goes really over the top and goofy for no apparent reason. And with Tiffany Haddish, she's very over the top as a comedic actress. So it was really great to see these women in more of a dramatic role. I know Melissa McCarthy's done more dramatic stuff than Tiffany Haddish. I think this is Tiffany Haddish's first dramatic role, if I'm not mistaken. But I thought she did an awesome job, and she honestly really did. And you know, it's nice to see actors sort of stretching their abilities. I think that's probably one of the reasons why this movie didn't do so well at the first place, because people saw Melissa McCarthy and Tiffany Haddish and they thought, oh, this must be a comedy. And when they realized it wasn't a comedy, I think people kind of turned away from it. I'm not saying it's like the most brutal mob movie you've ever seen, and it really is the most hard-hitting tale of money and power and death and everything, but I think it's a really good tale with really strong performances. And I think from what I've heard from people before, I think it takes the DC Vertigo comic, and I think it makes a good movie out of it. I that's what I've heard. I don't know for certain, but that's what I've heard. But just for the performances alone, I do really think it's worth it, guys. It's not a comedy, not by any stretch of the imagination, but that's why I like it, though. I'm not a big fan of those really goofy Melissa McCarthy Haddish comedies. I much prefer movies like this. And then the other thing I'm seeing over here, guys, is they have the Blu-ray digital of The Art of Racing in the Rain for $19.99, the DVD only for $17.99. And I think where my love of dogs really came from is probably from when I was a kid, really watching a lot of these movies back in the day, whether it was Beethoven or Air Bud. If you guys remember Air Bud, boy, that was a blast from the past. All Dogs Go to Heaven. There was even that animated dog movie featuring the voice of Rodney Dangerfield. God, right now I'm blanking on the name of that, but I think it was Rover Dangerfield, if I'm not mistaken, or something similar to that. But that was really great. And even my mother would watch reruns of Lassie, or seeing something like old Yell Yeller, which really made me cry. For some reason, I really liked sort of the classic stuff from back in the day. I really do. I mean, I don't know if some of that stuff that I just mentioned is classic, but I think to me it's classic, put it that way. But, honestly, some of the newer stuff that's come out, like A Dog's Journey and A Dog's Purpose, and, some of that other stuff. Some of it's good, and some of it I don't really like some of the voiceover stuff, and some of it feels kind of cheap, and I just don't think sometimes their heart is in the right place, to be honest with you. And I think the last one I think I really loved of the new batch of stuff was probably Marley and Me, which the last stuff I really enjoyed, man, I thought was really fantastic. I think this is the first one in quite a while that I could really say is felt very genuine to me, felt very heartfelt and heartwarming, and I felt that the intentions of the movie were really true. I know it's based on a best-selling novel. I've never read it, but it just felt like with the performances and the journey of the dog, and just the story with just how their friendship sort of developed and blossomed between a dog and its owner. I just thought it was really genuine and really just it was funny, it was dramatic, it had a really wonderful sensibility. To me, man, if you're a dog lover, this is one that's definitely worth checking out. It really honestly is, man. You know, I you know, I can't say I recommend all of the newer dog stuff that comes out nowadays, but this one I really honestly do. I think the art of racing in the rain is, to me, as far as a dog lover and someone that loves a lot of movies about dogs, I think this is honestly the real deal. I honestly do, man. Definitely give it a look for sure, man. I don't think you guys are really gonna be disappointed. At least I don't think so. But actually not bad variety, guys. Let's see what else. They got. All right, everybody, we are over in this section of Target, and the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the DVD of Yellowstone Season 2 for $22.99. Now, I was looking something up regarding this TV show, and I'm curious, how much do you guys think Kevin Costner gets paid per episode on Yellowstone? I'm actually really curious what your guys' thoughts are, because what he actually gets paid is $500,000 per episode. That's true. He gets paid $500,000. Okay? If I had one of those paychecks, I'd be a very happy man. Okay? But it really comes down to, what do you think these actors are worth when it comes to TV shows? Because I look at people like a Tom Selleck on Blue Bloods, or I look at some of these older actors who are doing TV now. And I wonder, because they can't really get much film work anymore, so they go to TV, and that's not a bad thing. TV's really great. But are they worth the paycheck that they ask for? I think somebody like Kevin Costner, I think he's worth the paycheck because he's such a really great, diverse actor, and he's done a lot of really wonderful work, and I think he brings a certain sort of gravitas to the actual show that maybe some other actors wouldn't have done. But to be honest with you, other actors, maybe not so much. I mean, I think it depends on what you think of the actor, or the actor's work that he's done previously, vice versa. I'm very curious, what actors do you feel are very overrated, like they're not worth the money that they get, or is there certain actors that you feel like are very undervalued? I'm very curious to see what you guys think of it. And do you think $500,000 is a low amount, or do you think it's like too high of an amount? I'm very curious to think. Like I said, I think I think he's worthy of the paycheck because he's such that great of an actor. But I can't say that everybody is of Kevin Costner's stature. But it is really interesting to see how much he actually gets paid, man. Because when I saw that, I was like, my eyes were bulging out. I was like, really? He gets paid that much? Like, whoa. But yeah, dude, it's very fascinating. But again, some actors are worth it and other actors aren't. But I'm definitely interested to hear your guys' thoughts for sure, guys. I'm also seeing over here, guys, they have the DVD of Good Omens for $19.99, and I'm actually so happy that we finally get to see Good Omens here, man, because I watched the entire season, the 6 episodes on Amazon Prime, and honestly, I had never actually heard of the Neil Gaiman book before, and I know some of you have told me to really get into Neil Gaiman, that he's a really great author and his books are really great, and at some point I definitely want to get into it, but I had never heard anything about Good Omens at all, and I didn't really know what to expect. I knew David Tennant and Michael Sheen was in it, and I love them as actors. They have great chemistry together, and I knew it had to do something with heaven and hell, angels, demons. I knew something like that, but outside of that, I really didn't know much, and I was really pleasantly surprised by this show, man. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal, man. I loved the hell out of this show. I thought the design of this world with heaven and hell and the way the demons and the angels look, I really like how they took this sort of spin on the Antichrist and really turned it into a really sort of sarcastic, funny, dramatic, witty sort of tale. It sort of turned it on its head, and I kind of like it. It sort of takes certain things like what you would see in like The Omen or The Omen 3 Final Conflict, and it takes sort of that sort of end of the world Antichrist sort of idea, and it really puts a different, unique spin on it, and I really enjoyed it, man. I thought the performances here were great. David Tennant and Michael Sheen kill it. They are fantastic here, man. I thought all the actors did a really great job, from the little kids all the way to the big stars as well. The special effects are really fantastic here also, and I really like that it subverts expectations. Honestly, I'm not, a big religious guy, as you guys know, so I don't take a lot of religious stuff in a serious way, but I know a lot of people do, and I don't know if this show is going to be for everybody, because if you're a really big, religious junkie and you love a lot of religious stuff, I don't know if this is going to be too, like, satirical for your taste or not. It's kind of interesting because I don't like a lot of faith-based stuff all the time, but this, for some reason, it takes the Bible, it takes the ideas of prophecy and everything, and it really just turns it into a really just witty and funny and ridiculous way, and just an over-the-top sense of humor, but yet they do it with such class. And I thought the dialogue was brilliant. I thought the story was great. And it's not just a story about really the Bible and the religious. It's also a story about friendship and about recognizing who your friends truly are and who has your back. There's so much to this show, man. It really is really dynamic. I love this show so much, man. I really binged this. I mean, I think I watched the first 2 episodes, and then the next day I watched the next 4. I really did. I just binged this thing to hell and back, dude. No pun intended. But I really did enjoy this thing. This thing is so enjoyable, man. If you have an Amazon Prime account, get on and watch this, man. Or if you want to just pick it up as a blind buy, I recommend it. If you like satirical sort of sense of humor, sort of, taking the piss out of religion, this is definitely one that's worth checking out. And just for David Tennant and Michael Sheen alone, who are just absolutely bloody brilliant, man. Honestly, well worth it for sure, guys. So happy I got to watch this show, man. It is the genuine article for sure, man. Oh, I would definitely like to see a season 2. I just don't know if we're ever going to get it, or is it just based on that one book and we're never going to get another one. If not, I understand. It was well worth the 6-episode ride for sure, guys. very well worth your time. Not bad this week, man. A lot of really cool stuff this week for sure, guys. Not bad at all here at Target. Oh, and by the way, just so you know, guys, they do have this Holly deals going on, buy two, get one free. Unfortunately, you don't get any sort of new releases from the movie, so the older titles, but just in case you were interested, they do have this deal right here as well. Not bad for the upcoming busy holiday rush for sure. Alright guys, well, not bad this week. Let's head out. You have to admit, guys, that it is pretty good this week over at Target. We do get the new releases. We do get some titles that we didn't even see over at Walmart. Seeing Good Omens, seeing Ophelia. We get one exclusive as well, which keeps up with Walmart. Not bad variety, not bad selection. I was actually really happy with what we got this week, guys. Actually, really happy indeed. Definitely a big bounce back for Target as well, guys. Not bad, and definitely a lot of titles getting out there for the holiday rush for sure. Alright, hope you enjoyed it here at Target. Pretty decent overall, I must say. Let's head to the third and final location and see what we can find. Let me tell you something, guys. This is a good week to be a physical media lover for sure. We've got a lot of really great stuff this week, man. Some really great new releases. Some really great indie titles, TV shows, exclusives, a lot of really great stuff. The two stores have been pretty good so far, but have we saved the best for last with Best Buy, the Beast, baby? I'm hoping for more exclusives. I'm hoping for cool steelbooks. I'm hoping for the variety, the selection, and some cool surprises that only the Beast has in store for us. Alright, well, physical media has been good so far. Let's hope the train keeps rolling. Let's head into Best Buy and see what they got. Alright everybody, we are in at Best Buy with this display for Hobbs and Shaw right here. Small display, not as big as Walmart, but not bad. And the first thing I'm seeing is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital of Hobbs and Shaw for $29.99, the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $24.99, and a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital only at Best Buy limited edition steelbook for $34.99. Not bad cover. I think it was one of the theatrical posters, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was. Not bad though. I think if I had to pick the better image, I'd probably pick this one over this one. That's what I'd probably go with. But this is good, or this one is not bad either. I guess it just depends on what your preference is. But not bad at all. It's not bad indeed. And you know, this movie ends not exactly on a cliffhanger, but there's a little bit of like what will happen next type of sort of ending. And are we gonna get another Hobbs and Shaw? I mean, this movie did really well at the box office, so I'm thinking they might do it. But I'm kind of curious as to where is this Fast and Furious franchise going. I mean, I know next year we're getting Fast and Furious 9. I know that most likely they're going to do Fast and Furious 10. I think we're going to get a sequel to this. I'm not really sure, but I think we're going to. When is too much, too much? You know what I mean? I mean, I like the Fast and Furious franchise. I think it's gotten way over the top and way ridiculous. And at a certain point, you sort of wonder how far can they take it until it's sort of gone too overboard, I guess. I mean, I think for me, the Fast and Furious franchise maybe only has about 2 or 3 movies left in it. I think you have another 1 or 2 maybe Hobbs and Shaw movies, and then that's it. I don't see this series continuing incredibly long. I mean, I know you could do a whole sort of spin-off with like the Fast and Furious kids, like the Rock's kid in this movie and Dom's nephew, and you could go in places. I'm actually just waiting until they go into outer space, to be honest with you, because eventually some motherfucker's gonna have to come up with that idea, because, I mean, come on, man, we're almost there anyways. You know, but I just find it fascinating how a franchise now, 8 films in, 9 films next year, on top of a spin-off, like, how many franchises, I mean, in all seriousness, how many franchises have been able to pull this off? There hasn't been many franchises outside of maybe Star Wars and a couple others. There's not many that you could say has been this successful for this long and has a spin-off. You know, I mean, it's, you know, even if you may not like the Fast and Furious franchise, you have to give it the respect it deserves, because, man, it honestly deserves it. As ridiculous and crazy and over the top and sort of just nutty as it gets, it's still extremely popular, man, and there's a reason why. You know, it's a formula that works. Hopefully that formula will carry over to a future Hobbs and Shaw movie. Definitely let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think it will get another one, and how far do you think the Fast and Furious franchise can actually go, including the spin-offs? Definitely let me know, guys. You get here alternate opening, deleted scenes, 80 plus minutes of bonus features. Actually not too bad for $29.99 for the 4K. That's not a bad price. Again, I really like this movie quite a bit, man. It reminds me of those sort of, like, you know, machismo, you know, real men type of sort of movies back in the 80s, man. It really does. I just had a ball with this movie, dude, and I definitely would honestly see another spin-off. If they didn't do any more Fast and Furious movies and only did the Hobbs and Shaw spin-offs, I'd be cool with it, honestly. The Rock is so badass, and Statham, man, this movie proves, again, Statham is one badass mofo for sure, guys. Very cool movie. Alright, and not a bad cool display. Like I said, we got that limited edition steelbook, the Blu-ray, 4K. We didn't see the DVD, but I'll definitely keep on looking for that, guys. Alright, let's see what else Best Buy's got. Alright, guys, we're over in here with the new releases, and the first thing I'm seeing over here is they do have the DVD digital of Hobbs and Shaw for $19.99 for all you DVD lovers out there. If you were interested in that, they do have it here for $19.99. I'm also seeing over here they have the Blu-ray digital of The Art of Racing in the Rain for $19.99. Now I'm noticing that we're not seeing any 4K for this title, and Disney is not putting the effort into 4K on this one, and to be honest with you, I don't think Disney's putting much effort into this movie or most of the Fox titles in general. What I mean by that is, if you guys missed out on this movie in the theaters, well, you're not alone, because there wasn't much marketing for this movie to begin with. The reason being is that when Disney bought 20th Century Fox, there were certain movies that were already either in development or they had already shot the film and it was coming out at a certain point, and things like Stuber and The Art of Racing in the Rain was a couple of those movies, plus there was some other ones as well. And Disney had no interest in these movies. They didn't like them. They didn't want to promote them. They didn't want to have any association with them. And so they just dumped them in the theaters and with very little promotion, and that was it. And which is a real shame. And it really goes to the fact of movies like The Art of Racing in the Rain, or even something like Stuber, you wonder, now with 20th Century Fox being under the whole umbrella of Disney, does Disney have any interest in making these type of movies anymore, or is it just going to be like the safe play? Is it just going to be sequels and live action remakes and that's it? I mean, like I said, I like Disney. I've said it before, but I think movies like this, because I'm glad that this got made, because if 20th Century Fox didn't do it before the merger, this wouldn't have gotten made. Disney would have said no to it, or it would have been a whole different film than what we would have gotten. And I think the same with Stuber as well. You know, I know people were really happy about the whole X-Men franchise and the Fantastic Four finally coming to to the Marvel Universe, and I can't blame them for that, but at the end of the day, I have to admit that I think we're going to lose a lot with this 20th Century Fox Disney merger, and I think movies like this and movies like Stuber are ones that I think get lost in the shuffle, because an exec says, well, we didn't make the movie, so if we didn't make it, why should we promote it? And that really sucks, dude. I think this could have been a really great movie that could have built up support from people, and I think it would have been a great sort of word of mouth movie, but Disney tried to bury it, and I think they're trying to bury a lot of these old 20th Century Fox movies, or ones that have already been made and gonna come out, because they just don't approve of what they did. And now that it's under them, it's gonna be under their umbrella and under what they want. And movies like The Art of Racing in the Rain get lost in the mix. It honestly does, guys, and it's a real shame. It really does. I like creativity, I like imagination, I like when studios take risks, even though I may not agree with some of those risks. The fact that they're willing to not do the same old thing all the time, I appreciate. And this is one of those movies where I do appreciate, because I'm so glad this thing got made, because it's so heartfelt, so emotional. It really tugged at my heartstrings, and if Disney had their way, this movie wouldn't be around, guys, and that's a damn shame. So seeing Disney take over things like 20th Century Fox, I see the creativity sort of waning. I don't know where 20th Century Fox goes from here. I don't know what Disney will do with it, but it's movies like this that will get lost in the shuffle. I mean, definitely let me know what you guys think, but I just think it's a shame. I really honestly do, guys. You get here actually quite a lot. You get audio commentary, you get a bunch of featurettes here as well. It's a really just joyful and funny story, and just a really great emotional journey of a dog and his master that I think is worth checking out. I really honestly do. As a dog lover, I recommend it. As a movie just full of emotion and heart, I recommend it as well. Movies like this should not be lost, and I hope it doesn't get buried. I really hopefully it doesn't. Then over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark for $19.99. The 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital for $24.99. And, when John and I did the review, we were talking about gateway movies. And what I mean by gateway movies are movies that you can have a younger kid watch, sort of pre-teen, early teen, that's going to get them into the horror genre. What are the movies that are really gonna spark a person's interest to get into this genre? Because I don't know if you can start them off with the most bloodiest shit like, Reanimator or Evil Dead or something. It's kind of gotta be a little gradual. And, the ones I was thinking about off the bat, things like The Gate, Monster Squad, Teen Wolf, Little Monsters was one I was thinking of as well. Goosebumps. I mean, there's some really great sort of gateway horror movies to get kids into horror. And I think Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is one of those movies for sure. I really honestly do. Let me know what you guys think are some really great gateway movies that you can sort of gradually get somebody into the horror genre with. I'm very curious to find out, guys. I really am. I think you can easily put Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark in that mix. But I see movies like, Little Monsters and things like The Gate and Monster Squad and whatnot. I see them they're funny, yet they're a little bit horrific, but they sort of dip your toe right into the horror genre. You kind of want to delve into it more. For me, I sort of dived full into the horror. I remember as a kid watching a VHS copy of Aliens. So, I mean, I dived right in, man, but I know some people can't, so that's why I sort of recommend these gateway horror movies, and I think Scary Stories is definitely one of them. And I am actually curious whether or not this movie is going to get a sequel, because it didn't do gangbusters at the box office, but it kind of ends in I wouldn't say a cliffhanger, but it ends in a way where they kind of set up a potential sequel for maybe an adventure to come forward. I would love to see more. There's so many stories within these books that you could tell. You know, I see stories like Harold and the Pale Lady and the grotesque chick missing her toe, and I'm like, these are really great stories, man. And I can't wait to hopefully see them do more stuff on the screen with this. I really do. I mean, when you have Guillermo del Toro backed and you have, really great a filmmaking team, I think you could do some really great stuff with this. I just wish it would have did more money at the box office. These type of movies, I don't think get a lot of love until later on, once they're on physical media, where people tend to find the titles again. That's what I tend to find most of the time. But these are movies that I absolutely cherish, and these are movies that I could easily show my future kids and dip them into it. Or I could just have them watch American Werewolf in London and see somebody get their throat ripped out. Yeah, my girlfriend would definitely not like that. So probably the gateway horror stuff for sure, guys. You get a bunch of featurettes on the creatures, on the mansion, behind the scenes, retro horror, and a lot more. Not bad actual featurettes here. And again, it's a really great movie. It's got some great creatures in it. And it's a movie that is not only genuine for PG-13 and a really great horror movie, but it's one that I think that, honestly, I think years from now you could put it with the Monster Squads and with the Little Monsters, and movies that you could show your kids and really get them into the horror genre and go from there. That's what I think, guys, but definitely let me know. Then over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of Spartacus. Look at this. This is for $11.99. Look, this is a steelbook. Huh. Look at this steelbook, man. This is the old school Spartacus movie with Kirk Douglas, Laurence Olivier, Charles Lawton, Tony Curtis. Man, what a cast, man. Damn, I haven't watched Spartacus in years. I think it's been, 10, 15 years since I've seen Spartacus? It's been so long. Oh, this is the extended version with 12 additional minutes. That's interesting. God, I definitely have to revisit this movie at some point. This movie is a goddamn classic, dude. This is one of those great sword and sandal movies. It's just a great epic, a great drama. The acting is brilliant here. And this movie is directed by Stanley Kubrick. And it's kind of weird because, when we talk about Stanley Kubrick, we talk about Eyes Wide Shut, we talk about The Shining, Full Metal Jacket, a lot of those movies, but we never really talk about Spartacus. It's one of those movies that kind of gets forgotten in his filmography, but one that was incredibly popular and probably one of his more mainstream movies, to be fair. This is really cool, man. I can't recommend this enough. I really honestly think this is a really great movie. Again, it's been so long since I watched it, so I'm going to have to eventually revisit it. But if you're a fan of sword and sandal epics, of Stanley Kubrick, and checking out his filmography, definitely check out Spartacus. This is a really cool steelbook, man. I really like this one a lot. That's really nice, dude. Huh. You get I Am Spartacus, a conversation with Kirk Douglas, Making of Spartacus, all new interview, Restoring Spartacus, deleted scenes, archival interviews, behind the scenes footage, 5 vintage newsreels, image galleries, theatrical trailers. Oh, there's a lot here, man. There's a lot of great stuff, dude. And for $11.99, that's a great goddamn price, dude. Yeah, if you're a fan of this is a great steelbook. Guys, definitely get on that. That's nice. Really cool. Huh. And also over here, I wanted to say, because I didn't even show it, they also have this limited edition Best Buy 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital steelbook of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark as well for $29.99. And this thing looks really interesting. Look at that, man. It's almost like a weird, creepy storybook or something with all these sort of images on there. The Pale Lady and the chick with the toe and the jangly man and everything. That's a really interesting steelbook, man. I don't know. I kind of like the more creepy atmospheric with their sort of the scarecrow one, but this actually looks really cool, man. Huh. Very unique and interesting steelbook. This is nice, dude. $29.99, not a bad price, man. Huh. Another limited edition steelbook, man. We're seeing a lot of stuff, man. Whether we're seeing like the Hobbs and Shaw stuff, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, Spartacus. Wow, man, a lot of really cool stuff here at Best Buy so far, man. Not bad at all. I'm really loving what they got. Let's see what else we're in store for. Alright, we're on the other side of the new releases, guys, and I think some of these Disney 4Ks and these Disney exclusive steelbooks came out this week as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'm seeing they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital of Big Hero 6 for $29.99. They also have this only at Best Buy 4K Blu-ray digital steelbook for $34.99. That's actually a really great looking steelbook, man. I really like that cover a lot. That looks really awesome. I haven't always been the biggest fan of every sort of Disney steelbook, but this looks really cool, man. And this is actually kind of what it looks like on the inside. That looks nice. Yeah, this is really cool. I'm actually really impressed by this steelbook, to be honest with you. I really am. Nice. Actually, not bad at all, man. And I have to admit, I do like Big Hero 6 quite a bit. I like the robot there. I think the robot is incredibly funny, and I sort of like the action adventure aspect to the movie. I think it's a really cool film, actually. I really do. It's great for kids. I think it's great for adults too. It has sort of that action adventure flavor that you remember when you were a kid. It's got the humor there. I think it's a really great film, dude. I really honestly do. I've only seen it a couple times, but I really have enjoyed it every single time I've actually watched it, man. This is actually not a bad cover either. I kind of like this cover, but this steelbook is really nice though, man. They have that. They also have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital of Zootopia for $29.99, and a only at Best Buy 4K Blu-ray digital steelbook for $34.99. This is not a bad steelbook. It's not bad. I actually kind of like this. I actually have to admit, I do like this one a lot more. This one's not bad, though. I think it's better than this cover. This cover is kind of very bland. I think this cover is a little bit better. But I've only seen Zootopia once, and I remember liking Zootopia, but I don't think it's exactly something for me to actually watch, to be honest with you. It's more of I guess, kid type of humor. But I will admit, there is one scene here that I really love, which is they're trying to get the information, and they're trying to get help from this sloth, and this sloth is going so incredibly slow because that's just how sloths are, and she's getting so impatient, and she's just like, oh my god, she's just like, just give me it already. Like, so hilarious, man. Incredibly. I think that's the scene for me that makes the movie. It's a good one for kids. See, it's kind of interesting because what I liked when I was a kid with the Disney stuff doesn't always sort of translate to me as an adult. And this one is good. I do like it. I just think it's not really something for me exactly, but I think see, something like Big Hero 6 is something I can get into more than actually Zootopia, because I sort of like this. It makes me feel more nostalgic for my action adventure sort of animation style stuff. This is still good for kids though, not bad. You also have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital of Tangled for $29.99, and the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital Best Buy Steelbook for $34.99. And this is another one there. See, I did like Tangled quite a bit. Tangled it sort of takes that whole sort of like fairy tale, princess in danger type of movie, and sort of spins it on its head where, she's not exactly the damsel in distress. I like that. I thought it was really cool to kind of switch it up and not do the same thing over and over again. I thought it was actually really nice. Actually, I like the story. I like I like the characters. I think it's funny. I think it's humorous. It's got that really nice sort of action adventure vibe to it. I really do enjoy this one quite a bit. I do like this more than Zootopia because I grew up with these fairy tale type of movies, like stuff like Aladdin and everything. So for me, this is right down my alley. So I like this one quite a bit, guys. And I think I like this cover more than I like this cover. This seems a little bit generic. I kind of like with the tower and the horse and her hair and everything. I kind of like that a little bit better. They also have here the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital of The Princess and the Frog for $29.99 and another 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital only at Best Buy Steelbook for $34.99. That's actually a really good looking Steelbook overall. This is not a bad cover. I actually kind of like this, but this one actually looks better. I like all the characters there, and it kind of looks really nice. And that's kind of what it looks like on the inside there. Actually, not bad at all. And to be honest, I've seen Princess and the Frog once, and I don't honestly remember much about the movie. I remember the whole idea of sort of the whole play on kissing the prince and or kissing the frog and it'll become a prince, and then sort of she becomes a frog as well, and sort of them trying to figure out how to get this curse taken off. And I did like that. I thought it was actually really cool and actually kind of funny. But it's been a while since I've actually watched it. Out of all of these ones, probably I would have to revisit Princess and the Frog probably the most, because it's been so damn long. I remember enjoying it, but it's been quite a while since I have. I did remember enjoying the movie though. And then the only other thing they have is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital of Moana for $29.99, and they have yet another only at Best Buy 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital Steelbook for $34.99. That's actually not bad. That's a not bad Steelbook, man. I mean, it looks pretty good. I mean, I like this cover. It's not bad, but this one has with the water and everything. That's actually not bad, though. I do like it, actually, quite a bit. I will admit that my girlfriend actually forced me to watch Moana. Swear to God, I didn't want to watch Moana, I swear. It was her time to pick the movie, and she's like, well, I want to watch Moana, and I'm like, I don't know, really? And to be honest with you, I thought Moana was great. I'm kind of actually glad she forced me to watch it, because I like the characters. I like the story of this woman trying to break out of tradition and trying to be her own woman, and how your heroes aren't exactly how you think they are. I like that a lot. I thought the music was really infectious. I thought The Rock did a great job voicing Maui. I thought it was so well done here. And I think my favorite part of the movie, or actually one of the most humorous parts of the movie, is actually the chicken who is so goddamn stupid that you're surprised he's actually survived this fucking long in life, because he's so goddamn idiotic, and basically he's like the retarded version of a chicken. I thought that was so hilarious, man. I really love this one a lot. I usually don't give my girlfriend a lot of credit. I'm gonna be honest with you, but to be fair though, she picked a good movie. It was fun. I enjoyed it, and I didn't torture her with a horror movie. So she did good for once. It was a really good movie. I was really pleasantly surprised by Moana, guys. Out of all of these ones though, probably my favorite would definitely have to be Moana. That is definitely my favorite though, guys. But I will be honest though, is that it's just too much money. $35 for the Steelbooks, dude. I mean, you get a lot of really great special features on these things. I mean, they're worth it, and they probably look amazing in 4K, to be honest with you. They're probably really amazing, but I just can't invest in in these when they're $35, dude. They really, to me, I feel like the $35 price tag really kind of turns me off, and I think it turns a lot of you guys off. I mean, I know we're heading towards Black Friday, and I know hopefully maybe some of these steelbooks will actually go down in price, but something tells me that because it's Disney, they really don't care. I mean, you have to remember that basically the streaming service is coming like next week, so they're like, hey, you're either going to buy it here or you're going to watch it on the streaming service. It really doesn't matter. But I mean, I love Disney, but sometimes it's just very, very overpriced, man. But I will say, if you're a Disney lover and you've collected the other steelbooks, why not pick some of this stuff up, guys? I mean, I think my favorite steelbook out of all of these would probably have to be the Big Hero 6 one, because I think that looks gorgeous. Zootopia, looks good. Tangled, better. The Princess and the Frog, it looks good. It's a little bit of a mess, sort of all over the place, but it does look actually pretty good overall. And Moana looks decent too. Like I said, I like Disney, but they really gotta lower their prices, dude, because $34.99 is way too much for these steelbooks. Even $29.99 for the 4K. There's some new 4Ks that come out that are way less than $29.99. Is it that much money because it's Disney? And they just think that they can charge whatever price they can? It's tough to say, man. Like I said, I really love these titles, and I think Disney's a great company, but they really got to rethink their strategy a little bit. I mean, that's just my thought, guys. I mean, definitely let me know what you think of the price stuff. I mean, even if you love Disney, you definitely got to reconsider just a little bit, buying some of these titles. That's just me. I may just wait until the Disney Plus streaming service, because for a low price, I could just watch all this stuff. I hate to say it, guys, but when you're charging that much money, you really got to be solid on your purchases. You really got to know what you want to spend your money on, because right now, like myself, my wallet is hurting me big time, dude. I mean, and I definitely got to pick and choose what I'm buying. And we're heading into, Black Friday, and there's more sales, so you gotta really pick out what's worth it for your wallet and what's not. And is $35 really what you want to pay for, a movie that's, some odd years old? It's up to you. I know it's 4K, and 4K on these titles are going to look great, but you got to really think about it, dude. I've always said, be smart about your purchases, and this is one of the times where you definitely have to be smart about your purchases. Still some really cool stuff for sure, guys. Not bad at all. Let's see what else Best Buy's got. Alright, everybody, we are over in this section of Best Buy, and it kind of looks like they're maybe restructuring a little bit. I see sort of a lot of empty areas here. It seems like they might be sort of having some empty areas that may be restructuring for like the big holiday push there. But there is a couple things that are worth checking out here, and the first is the Blu-ray digital of The Kitchen for $19.99. Now, there's not really too much more to honestly say about this movie, but I will say that, forgetting that it's, based on a comic book for a second, this is definitely a through and through mob movie. The guns, the money, the death. I mean, it definitely has that great vibe to it, and it's about sort of Hell's Kitchen. It's about sort of the Irish mob, and I'm very curious sort of what is some of your favorite sort of mob movies outside of the mainstream ones. I mean, we all think of Godfather, we all think of Goodfellas and everything, but outside of that, I think there's some really great ones that people don't really talk about enough. Like, I was thinking like A Bronx Tale is really great. I was thinking of Black Mass, which is a really great one. Donnie Brasco is another one I was thinking of. Even something like that mob comedy Married to the Mob. Like that one, I remember with, I believe, Michelle Pfeiffer, if I'm not mistaken. That one's a really good one as well. I also would put The Freshman in there with Matthew Broderick, man. I would put that in there. There's a lot of really great underrated mob movies, or ones that not many people talk about as much. Of course, you also have The Departed as well, and a few other ones. But where does The Kitchen rank among some of the underrated ones? I don't know if it's gonna beat a lot of those other mob movies, because it's a good mob film. I like it. I thought it was thrilling. I thought it was tense at times. I like sort of the aspect of Hell's Kitchen, but I don't think it's as hard hitting as I think it needs to be. One of the things about some of those really great movies that I mentioned is that they're really hard hitting, they're gritty, or if they're not gritty, they have a certain level of authenticity with the mob that you kind of feel makes the movie even better. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if The Kitchen is exactly that. It's still a great movie. It's still a great sort of dramatic tale of these women dealing with the mob and becoming part of it, and sort of living in Hell's Kitchen. And it's a really great sort of female survival story in a lot of ways. But I think when you're comparing it to other mob movies, it tends to fall a little bit flat. I mean, definitely let me know what you guys think of that one. Here you have a few featurettes here and deleted scenes, an okay amount of features, not too bad. $19.99 price tag. It's a good movie, definitely worth checking out. I don't know about owning, but definitely give it a look though. If you're going with checked expectations, it's a really good movie. I think one that I think you guys will definitely enjoy. Then the other thing over here I'm seeing is they have the Blu-ray of Corporate Animals for $14.99. Now this is actually the first time we're seeing this at any of the stores, and I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime. Now I missed it in the theater. It only had sort of a limited run, but I loved the trailer. It's about this business group that goes on this sort of they go on this sort of hike and sort of this team building exercise, and they go down into this cave where they're not supposed to go, and suddenly they get stuck, and the rocks come down, and they're basically literally stuck there for days on end with no food and trying to figure out how to survive, and tensions are really high, and they just decide, fuck it, we're just gonna eat people. Like, that's how it goes. Like, this guy's dead, we're alive, let's just go ahead and eat him. And I thought it was a really good sort of funny satirizing of a cannibalism movie, kind of like, it's sort of the more funnier version of Alive with Ethan Hawke. I mean, they even end up referencing that movie in this film. I thought it was funny. I thought Demi Moore was great here. I thought Demi was really sort of hilarious. I thought she was very mean-spirited. It's something that you haven't really seen from Demi much, and I thought she did a really great job. It was nice to see Demi in sort of this starring role. I think a lot of the actors did a really great job here. Ed Helms has a small role as well. It's a really great sort of satirizing of sort of the haves and the have-nots, the corporate mentality, survival. It's funny, man. It really is funny. It's not laugh out loud funny. It's more like sort of dark comedy, humorous. It's not going for like, it has its ridiculous moments, but it's more going for like, the dark aspect of all of this stuff going on with eating people and sort of going crazy in a cave system for days on end, and how you could lose your mind. Some really interesting stuff here, man. I really enjoyed it quite a bit. It's not for everybody, especially if you don't like cannibalism movies or movies that would kind of spoof that in a lot of ways. But I really enjoyed it, though. I thought it was a fun time, man. Definitely worth your time if you like these type of sort of dark comedies. And especially if you like Demi Moore, because Demi Moore doesn't do a lot of work anymore. But this one was worth it, honestly. It really was. Just for Demi alone, man. It was really cool to see her in this, and see her sort of being this mean boss and yet eating people's flesh. Like, you're like, oh, Demi, I saw you in Ghost years ago. Shit, girl. You're eating people now. Fuck. But it's really great. And to be honest with you, she's doing better work than Bruce Willis is nowadays, so give her props. You get 3 behind-the-scenes featurettes and an audio commentary as well. Not bad featurettes, and I have to admit, man, that, you know, there's some really great cannibalistic horror comedies that I really enjoy. I think my favorite is Ravenous. Ravenous is my absolute favorite of those type of movies, and I don't know why. For some reason, I like sort of the dark humor. I like, the cannibalism aspects to it. For some reason, if you play it well and don't take it too seriously and don't do it too over the top, then there's something humorous about it where it doesn't feel too gross. Here it's not gross. They play it pretty well, but it does have its moments where you do see them biting into somebody's arm or leg, and but trust me guys, I think it's more funny than it is gross. I think you guys would have a good time with it. That being said, not much else to show off here, but there was actually a lot to check out this week. All right, not bad at all. Let's head out. Best Buy handled their business yet again, guys. There was actually a lot of really great stuff to check out. I mean, on top of the new releases, we got a lot of titles we didn't see at the other stores, a bunch of exclusives and different artwork and some cool older titles and indie stuff. And yeah, man, Best Buy is always really great. For the most part, they do a really great job, and this week is no exception. There's a hell of a lot of physical media to check out this week. A lot of stuff in the stores, a lot of stuff worth giving a chance to, guys, if your wallet isn't hurting already. But, yeah, Best Buy delivered as always, as did most of the stores, to be honest with you guys. Actually, really good week for physical media overall. Very happy the first week of November. Let's head home and finish the video. Alright everybody, that'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And let me tell you, man, we are back in true form for sure, man. We had that sort of off week, and boy, we're back and up and running, and just a bunch of physical media chaos, man. But good and fun physical media chaos. It was really great because, I was talking to one of the cashiers at Best Buy, and they're like, boy, there's some really great movies coming out and everything. And talking to the guy, the manager over at Target, he was like, yeah, people are now getting ready to put all of these huge titles out now for November, getting them out before, the big sales hit. And yeah, dude, this is sort of bonanza time. We're getting everything out, dude. We're getting everything out for sales. We're in November now, man. And let me tell you, on top of heading towards Black Friday sales, Cyber Monday sales, there's also, the Criterion sale going on, which, at some point I will go to the Criterion sale. And on top of all that stuff, you have now a lot of these more independent labels who are getting ready to do some big Black Friday sales on top of that. Yeah, man, I gotta admit, my wallet's hurting in a big bad way. I don't know about you, but October was sort of this huge bonanza, crazy month. So much physical media to buy. And now I look at November and I'm like, should I take out a loan? Should I go to my bank and be like, look, I really need a loan right now. I really do. And they're going to be like, oh, are you looking to buy a house, or are you looking to buy a car? No, I'm looking to buy Blu-rays and DVDs. Yeah, hopefully they don't look at me like I'm crazy, guys, because I have a feeling they're probably going to. But yeah, it's just crazy right now, man. There's so much stuff to check out and so much stuff to buy, and it really is. I always love this time of year. As I say, once we get into fall, it feels like just physical media is just bombarding us like crazy. But that's only a good thing as far as I'm concerned, guys. So have fun this month, because there's going to be a lot of sales and a lot of big titles coming out. So hopefully your wallet will survive. Hopefully my wallet will survive. Speaking of which, there was a lot of really great titles that came out this week. Stuff that came out online and in stores. So there's a lot of stuff to pick up, guys. Definitely let me know what you got this week. I'm dying to know. As far as I'm concerned, boy, where do I delve in? Where do I start? Okay, so the first thing I got a package in the mail from 88 Films. Okay, so these two titles are actually interesting because a while back I ended up contributing to this Kickstarter campaign that 88 Films did. And they were doing this Kickstarter campaign for these two films that they wanted to restore, but they didn't really have the money and the backing to do it, so they asked a lot of their fan base and a lot of people who would be interested in the titles to definitely, contribute to the campaign. I was one of those people. And there are two very sort of obscure titles. One is more of a title by Jess Franco. It's a title by him. It's a very sleazy title, man. It's a very sleazy movie of this sort of this affair and this seduction that this woman has with this guy, and it's sort of like forbidden, and it's really sort of very unique and interesting. And I was interested in this title, but really the one I was interested in the most was the next title, which is a Lucio Fulci movie. Now, you guys know, if you've been watching the Blu-ray pickup videos, that I have been a huge sort of fan and lover of the Lucio Fulci films, and I'm trying to get most of the Fulci stuff. And when this was part of the Kickstarter package, I mean, the first film came with it if you got it, but I knew what I wanted. I definitely wanted the one with Lucio Fulci, and I'm glad to have the other one. But the Lucio Fulci title is one I'm definitely dying to delve into. And this Lucio Fulci title is one that is not readily available everywhere. It's more of one of his more obscure ones that's really not well known at all. It's, from what many people say, it's actually one of his best films of all time that he ever did. It's very it has its gore moments, it has its blood, but it's not exactly a horror movie. It's more of like a period piece drama with the gore and blood added onto it, sort of a mystery thriller, sort of period piece movie. It's one that, again, is not one that's easily available in the market. So when I saw the opportunity to jump on the Kickstarter for it, I went for it in a big bad way. So the fact that I have this Lucio Fulci title, the fact that not many people will have this Lucio Fulci title, I am actually really proud to have it in the collection, man. I cannot wait to open this sucker and delve into both of the titles. But the Lucio Fulci one is the one I'm definitely like majorly excited for in a big bad way, dude. Especially for someone who's trying to get most of his catalog. This one is definitely going to be a keeper for sure, guys. So I got this package finally, after many months, in the mail from 88 Films. On top of that, I also got a package in the mail from Shout Factory. Yeah, this title is a really great sex comedy from the 80s. And, oh man, I haven't watched this one in so long, but I remember it being so funny, so hilarious. Matthew Modine is great in it. Betsy Russell. It's classic, over the top, crazy sex comedy, and you guys know, if you've seen the Blu-ray pickups before, how I really do love my sex comedies, and how I like to get some of the more old school stuff. So I have actually never owned this in the collection. As much as I really remember loving the movie, I've never had it on VHS, never had it on DVD, but now I will have it on Blu-ray, and I am very happy to have this one that's going in the collection for sure. So I got this one. I also got a package in the mail from Ronin Flicks as well. Speaking of Lucio Fulci, this is another Lucio Fulci title. I had to pick this up, man. I actually, to be honest with you, I heard of this title coming out like a year or so ago, and I've been waiting for this title to come out, man. And it's a sort of sci-fi adventure movie directed by Lucio Fulci sort of you sort of think of Lucio Fulci as sort of horror or thriller mystery, but never really sci-fi. So I'm very curious to check this title out. I really honestly am. And it's another one that's going to be part of the big Lucio Fulci collection that I'm amassing. So I am very happy that this finally got released, man. And once it got released, like that day, I had to click on it, dude. I had to buy it. This was a must buy, especially being a fan of Lucio Fulci now. This is a no-brainer. So I got this one, guys. I also picked up some titles over at Best Buy as well, guys. So let's see here. I picked up a release that came out last week. It's actually a steelbook, and I cannot wait to delve into this, man. This is actually the first time I've ever actually had it on any of the formats in the collection. It's a classic, and it's one I cannot wait to delve into, man. There's certain movies that I'm surprised I've never had in the collection, and this is one of them. So I've definitely rectified that. So I'm happy to have that one. I also picked up another title which I really enjoyed. It's just a great horror movie. On top of it being a really great horror movie, I think it's one that is easily accessible. You don't need to be an adult to sort of start to watch it. You can be a kid and still have fun with it. So for me, this is a really good, great horror movie that, even though it may not be as gory and crazy over the top, it has a lot of classic sensibilities. So for me, I really loved it when I saw it in the theater, so I had to pick it up, man. So I got that. I also ended up picking up a really great heartfelt movie that I really enjoyed so much, man. I wasn't actually originally going to even watch it, but it's one of those movies where once I watched it and once I just sobbed like a fucking baby, I was like, this movie is so good, and I have to have it in the collection just for the fact of I really I have a feeling that this movie is not going to be widely available after a while. I kind of feel like there's only a certain amount of copies, and then we're not going to see much of it anymore. It's one of those ones that I think that the company is very dismissive of, and so I definitely wanted to give it the love that it deserves. So I'm glad to have it in the collection. And the other one, well, big action, big stars, over the top craziness, but it's one I definitely really loved, guys. A spin-off worth having for sure. So I got 4 titles right here. I got a title right here. I got another title right here, and I got 2 titles right here. Guys, I got 8 friggin' titles, and we're only in the beginning of November. What the hell? Guys, I swear, I'm not gonna get 20 plus titles again, but this is just craziness. There's so much really wonderful movies and just really great releases that are coming out. Like I said, it started in the fall and it's just carrying over, man. And November is just going to be one crazy month. It has so much great releases coming out from a lot of really great independent studios, a lot of wonderful new releases. Yeah, man, this is going to be another month of great abundancy of just awesome titles to own, and I'm definitely going to be taking advantage of it. Clearly, I hope you guys will as well, but you guys will not get to find out exactly what I picked up until my Blu-ray pickup video, which will drop at the beginning of next month. It'll show off all the titles that I got for the month of November. And on top of new releases, exclusive steelbooks, limited editions, collector's editions, old school retro titles, so much in the November pickups, especially what I know I'm going to be picking up later on in the month. So there's some really great stuff that's coming. Maybe even some stuff that's coming from overseas as well. There's gonna be some good pickups, guys, so definitely tune into that one when it drops. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD out and about videos I do. Check out the theatrical movie reviews I do with my friends. The Blu-ray pickup videos I do every single month, plus so much more content that I have on the channel. If you love movies and physical media, hit subscribe and be a part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank my subscribers. I want to thank you guys so much. You really go out of your way to support the channel and watch the videos and comment. And you know, I'm not the biggest Bluetuber out there. There's a lot of people that are far more successful at this and far more, far more knowledgeable about their Blu-rays and movies than I am. But I have my small little niche out there, and I have you guys, and I am so proud to have each and every one of you subscribe to this channel because it means the world to me, and it keeps me going, having your support. And I hope that I put out stuff that you guys really enjoy. So thank you for the support so much. And if you haven't yet, definitely click subscribe and keep up to date with everything I'm doing. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, FilmFan108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus exclusive pictures and videos that sometimes I do on social media as well. Alright guys, well, clearly an abundance of titles came out this week, and a lot more that is coming the rest of the month. Oh, it's going to be a good one, guys. Well, I'll see you back next time for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video. Take care, everybody, and happy hunting.